Alright, now we have the Revit geometry in place. We need to figure out what the heck to do with it. We can obviously cut through it. We can create a section. And we can take a look at that section. And you'll see that the section has kind of maybe a window that you'd rather pull up so you can see more of the section. And if you go back to the level you created on, or any of the levels, you can also see that it has a depth. So if I just want to kind of ignore these columns in the background and just see what this part of the chunk of my project, then I would pull this back, and we notice that in section it ignores those columns. Now, I have no idea why you'd want to do that, but there you go. Alright, so that's the parameters of the section, but alright, let's get back into what else we can do with this geometry. So as we did in class, you can create geometry from your Rhino file. Say this piece, this exhibition space, is actually only a foot extrusion. I did an offset surface in Rhino, and I only did a foot, so it's consistent. And when it's consistent like that, you can use this wall by face and create basically that same geometry, only now Revit will recognize it as a wall. So it's, if you have that situation, of course you want to create a Revit form. So I'm just going to click on the outer surface, and you might notice that now it's not quite as thick. It kind of has a line here. That's because I have a generic 8-inch selected. I'm just going to go generic 12-inch and create the rest of it using the correct. And to make sure that I'm always on the outer surface, if you tab when floating over something, it'll allow you to kind of create, or it'll select through various objects that you're floating on top of. Alright, so that is the completion of my form. Let's get rid of the part that's from Rhino. It looks like I have one piece there I need to fix. I knew I had to fix this. So let's get it back. See if I can't create that final form. So we're going to go up to wall by face. Alright, let's see if that finally does it. Okay, it looks like everything looks pretty good, except for this was created with an 8-inch wall. So I'm just going to go up, select that, and tell it to be the 12-inch. It's off the screen, but you'll have to trust me, I'm grabbing that one. Alright, so now I got rid of that part of the Rhino model, and now I'm just holding on now to the roof. Now let's talk about that. How do we might use the roof? Well, let's create a few walls, just some generic walls. Let's see, I'll go with maybe stay with the 12-inch, but I'm going to duplicate that. So I'll have a second generic 12-inch, just in case I want to have these walls be a different material than the exhibition space. I'm going to go into level 1, or better yet, level 0. just going to build my retaining walls now. So to do that, again, I go to wall, make sure I'm using the right one. Instead of center line, we're going to go exterior, and I'm just going to have it build from there to there to there to here. Escape. So now I have some walls built. Looks like maybe a little off as far as where it should be. So I might have a little bit of adjustment to do. There you can see that is the building pad. I'm just going to use the align tool. See if I can't align to it. Well, that's not working. I'll make some final minute adjustments here. Alright, I'll do that off screen. Okay, so it's good enough. And let's go ahead and take a look. Right now that's base constraint is at level 0. Let's take a look at the 3D view so you can see what's going on. The top constraint really is unconnected. It's just going 14 feet up. But if the beauty of associative modeling is that I can give it a constraint on top too. And so I'm going to say just like level 1. So you can see that it moved down. It moved down to, and now it's a 12-foot high wall. And as I would move where level 1 is, or where that base level 0 is, these things would stretch or shrink or expand to match that. So that sounds pretty good. So let's save that. And the next thing I'm going to do is build one more wall, because again I want to show you how to use that roof. So I'm going to go grab a wall. I'm going to grab a curtain wall system. Eventually you're going to have to kind of put an envelope around your pavilion. And I'm just going to grab a curtain wall. And let's go to level 1. This is where I want it to start. It'll automatically, whatever level you're drawing on, it'll automatically kind of grab that as your base constraint. Go up to curtain wall, and base constraints 1. That sounds pretty good. And start drawing this on the center line. There's some issue. We will see what that is here shortly. And for whatever reason, it no longer has a wall there. So I'll have to go and take a look at what exactly is going on. Oh, yeah, I want to make sure that this is also constrained to level 1. That's what the issue was. And just make sure this is the same. Okay, and I'll just take a look at this. Its default is to be 14 feet high. Alright. Good. Alright, now let's finish up that final wall. Alright, so again, let's go to the 3D view, and we see these walls that are just kind of floating, these curtain walls. Now what I'd really like them to do is go up and touch the roof. But how would I do that? Because I've got a very strange kind of parabolic or sine wave roof. And to do that, though, is actually extraordinarily easy. The SAT file gives you kind of a solid, but it also gives you the surfaces that you're bringing in. So what you're going to do is you're going to first create a roof from this form, and you're going to use the same method that you used for the wall, only now we're going to be under a roof, and we're going to grab the roof by face. So what you want to do is click on that one, make sure you're not on the top but on the bottom, and then the next thing you're going to do is, you're going to create a different type of roof. You don't want this one. I mean, this may be the default, but you want to just duplicate it and just call this, Rhino roof or something along those lines. Maybe pseudo Rhino roof or something. And you want to change its structure. Right now, you see it has thickness. You want to fool Revit and basically get rid of all of these parameters. So you're left with just one of these structures. Get rid of the concrete cast. You really probably don't even want it to have any kind of material. So I'm just going to see if I can't tell it to be none. See if it. Just get rid of it. Alright, and then I'm going to just tell it to be really thin, so like 1/8 inch thick. Say OK. Alright, so it's very thin, and that's great. And it's that one. So now I'm just going to hit Create Roof. So now there's a very thin Revit layer there, or Revit object, that I can use to attach my curtain wall system to. And that one has a curtain wall which is kind of drawn incorrectly, so gotta fix that. And let's go back. Alright, so select that, attach to there. And let's go ahead and attach this one too. Alright, it looked like it wasn't doing it, but now that we can see that it actually has it. Now this curtain wall system doesn't have verticals or horizontal mullions and stuff like that. You'll have to go in and edit that on your own once you watch the Global E-training on doing that. But this, you can see now we have a pretty good idea of what how to use now Rhino geometry and to best leverage that in Revit. Alright.